Hey guys, it's AJ here at Sexy in the City on Soy 6 in Pattaya, Thailand. Your source for Pattaya newbie advice, tips, tricks, and general information both for the first or second time visitor or folks who've come around for a while. The first thing I want to do is apologize for the video quality this week. My normal recording software had an accident and I'm in the process of replacing that. So I'm using an old laptop this week. That being said, the sound quality is still pretty good and I'm able to deliver you information that can help your next trip. What we're going to talk about today, by request, is bringing money to Thailand and the different options for your holidays and your money that you bring here. Short, simple, sweet. So the first option, of course, is to bring cash to Thailand. Cash is, of course, accepted everywhere, but it's accepted in Thai baht primarily only, not in US, Canadian, Australian, etc. currency. You will need to exchange to Thai baht. What you bring into the country, if you bring in cash, you want to avoid bringing in over about 10,000 US dollars, as that will flag, in many cases, your own home country, but will also flag Thailand as well. When you get here, I strongly advise do not exchange your cash at the airport unless you're going to absolutely the middle of nowhere without currency exchanges and banks. The rates at the airport are significantly higher than the rest of the country, especially Pattaya, other parts of Bangkok. I would recommend to exchange just enough for your taxi ride to where you're going. Once you get to where you're going, then hit up the currency exchanges. The currency exchanges, especially here in Pattaya, are in almost every other corner. There's no secret as to where the best currency exchange is. There's no secret as to the lowest price. Since Pattaya is such a walkable city, simply walk in and around the major parts of the city from walking streets, Soy 7, Soy 8, Soy 6, LK Metro, and take a look at the different booths and what the rates are and offered to you, and choose as it is. An important thing to keep in mind at the booths is your original copy of your passport is required to go ahead and exchange. Original copy. I normally advise people not to carry it with you if you watch my other videos, so go ahead and exchange your cash early in the day before you start drinking. Get your money and then take your passport back home, then bring out your passport copy. A couple currency exchanges may allow you to use a copy, but some will not. So keep that in mind. Number two, most currency exchange shops close at about 8 or 9 o'clock at night. There are at least 2 on Walking Street that are open until 2 or 3 a.m., but those rates are generally higher than the rest of the city. Exchange early in the day. Don't be that guy that's very late in the night struggling to try to find money because all the currency exchange shops are closed. If you leave the major tourist areas, Pattaya, Phuket, Bangkok, etc., and go to the smaller villages, they generally don't have currency exchanges there. ATMs are also in very short supply, so you need to figure out how much cash you're bringing before you go to make sure you don't have a problem. Next up, bring in ATM credit cards. Now, an ATM card in Thailand, most of the ATM machines, especially in a city like Bangkok or Pattaya where there's ATMs everywhere, are only put your card in, do your transaction, it gives you your money, then you get your card back. In many Western countries, to avoid people losing their cards, you can slide it, put it right back in your pocket, or you put it in and then it pops out, then you do your transaction. That doesn't happen here. I cannot tell you, running a business here, how many people I have had call me or come see me because they've lost an ATM card, because they were drunk and took out money drunk and forgot to get the card, or in some rare situations, the machine ate the card. Here's what I recommend. I recommend to only go to an ATM machine attached to a bank during bank opening hours to avoid any sort of problem of getting your money back, or if it eats it, or if you forget it, etc. That way you can simply walk into the bank, ask for your card back, then go ahead and pop right back out, and they'll get it for you. In case of an emergency, if you use an ATM against my advice elsewhere and you don't get your card back or you forget it, there is a number on every ATM machine. Call that phone number and they will arrange a time for somebody to come out or for you to pick it up. It's the first thing you need to do before you panic. ATM card fees can vary greatly here, just like anywhere in the world. You can be charged a couple hundred baht per transaction here, and up to 300-400 baht, like $10-12 US in your home country for international fees. One thing I recommend is a Charles Schwab card, which has no ATM fees and refunds it to you if you qualify for that. There's not really any ATM price-free machines here in Pattaya, so you need to be aware of the fees before you use it. All the fees are usually clearly printed on the machine. Some banks here will allow you to take your ATM card, your passport, go into the bank, and go ahead and withdraw from the bank and avoid fees or international fees. You need your original passport to do that. 3, traveler's checks. Oh, wait, one more thing on ATM machines. Keep in mind, in many of the villages, Northeast Isan, the smaller parts of Thailand, there's not many ATM machines around, if any. And you need to bring your cash to begin with. Cash is king here. Credit cards, still on that topic. Most major hotels, some restaurants will take credit cards. There's actually not as much credit card theft and fraud here as you think there is, but almost all the bars, nightclubs, strip clubs, go-go's, smaller restaurants, Thai shops do not take credit cards. So keep that in mind. Cash is king. The major shopping malls and major stores that are part of a chain will usually take credit cards. The fees vary greatly depending on them. Traveler's checks. They're not used much anymore. They're pretty safe. I personally don't have much experience in them, and because it's so easy to bring cash and it's so easy to go ahead and bring a credit or an ATM card, I don't use it. That being said, I know guys that swear by it and say it's still safe, but it's a little bit archaic, and I don't think they're personally necessary for Thailand from there. Finally, opening a bank account here and doing a bank account transfer. Used to be pretty easy to open a bank account. There's all sorts of different bank branches and places here in Thailand. It's not as difficult, but you may find a lot of pushback, especially on a tourist visa. If you're on an education visa, a multi-entry long stay, like 6 months, you may find it a lot easier. If you're on a work permit work visa, it's very simple to get a bank account. That being said, however, if you do not have one of those and you're an American citizen, Americans get a lot of shit, unfortunately, getting a bank account here. It's because we're one of the very few countries in the world that requires the IRS to go ahead and to collect your income from overseas and look up on it. Because Thai banks don't want to deal with that, they simply go ahead and go the other direction. They say, no, cannot open an account. Cannot. My die. Whereas if you have a work permit, work visa, or retirement, you can usually get a bank account. But if you're an American citizen and you're on a tourist visa, you may have a lot of problems getting a bank account here. Bank-to-bank transfers are pretty simple once you get that in. Hopefully that goes ahead and gives you guys some good information. I'll see you next week, hopefully with better video software. Have a good one.